I knew Lucas, Swedish board, and I had a good friend. And even when I was still in school, he was up here recording, and he was telling me stories of drawing my first way. This place is crazy. So, I found myself up here.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Desperately needed to provide just as dry as those faucets. In need of water. I still do. You want to risk my germs? Meeting is called back into order.
Anyway, like I was saying, I have a lot of questions that refer to the new committee that's going to do it. So as far as this item, move that we quash it.
It's been moved in discussion. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? It's been moved and seconded.
Yeah, there is discussion. There are a lot of questions. I didn't know for sure what to expect coming here tonight. I was hoping we could have a bit more of an exchange, but we are bound by the agenda. But I think this is an item that definitely needs to be taken up. I applaud Bruce for going to the trouble of learning from Coolpack what they would recommend. The message was pretty clear. The city does pay for the insurance. And I think it's important that the railroad, seeing how it is intertwined with the city, follow a personnel manual that is at least in step with what Coolpack expects. I think we're putting ourselves at risk if we do not do that.
That would be an item that the committee would be able to address as well, would it not?
Yes.
Yes, it would.
I have no problem with that, Marty. I think the key word is transparency. Hopefully that's where we're heading with this ad hoc committee. We can have a free exchange of ideas. If there's any questions, ask. I mean, whether you're one of the three or you want to ask directly, we'll certainly field any questions. And if there are issues and items that need to be addressed or corrected across the board, I don't think there's any reservation on the part of any of the foundation management board members that to implement anything that makes the operation run more effectively and safely.
And I would hope that some comments Mr. Marsh made, I'm not sure everybody heard them, that there were questions among some of the big contributors, especially in the United States Senate, what's going on. I would hope they would look at this meeting that we're having now as one which has been very transparent and very harmonious. I think everybody is clearly committed to the survival of the railroad and to see the railroad grow and prosper. And I hope that message is well received in all quarters where they're contributing to the viability of the railroad or contemplating their further contributions. So it's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Opposed.
Okay. 3-1. Motion carries. Which takes us now, to reports. Trustees. The board members, would you like to go first?
Any reports from the board members? No? Ready? No reports, Chairman.
Bruce?
No.
No report. No. It's you.
I attended the Water Advisory Board meeting last week, and I would like to make a suggestion at the next meeting that the city draft a letter supporting some of the proposals that are going forward concerning water use here in Salt Lake. In White Pine County. Sorry, it's been a long day and I've been sick. I will put that on the agenda though and forward it to the, I think they could use any support they can get to push forward some of these things they're doing. I think the state support of these projects would be vital. And particularly a letter of support for the pump storage water project. So I'll be putting those on the agenda. And that's the only thing I have to report. Public comment. Do I need to read this thing again? Public comment section. It's been read once. So, public, please, we would love to hear from you. I hope that's why you're here, is to let us know as well. Nobody wants to see it, just like my students.
Thank you, sir.
Put all your names
I'm Mike
on.
Coster, and a habitual small donor to the railroad. Very small point. If and when this ad hoc committee is set up, I hope that the various bodies will make one or more legal counsel available, because I know there were some legal questions in that personnel manual about requirements from the NRS, such as the employment of relative, and whether that would be applicable to ultimately to the railroad. Restrictions mirroring those in the NRS are in the current employment manual. I haven't seen the draft alternative, so I don't know if they intended to retain them. And that might be important yet academic because it's not fine-tuned. But I do know, to my read, just as knowing folks who work from Mark on down at the railroad, we're currently in violation of the employee manual and perhaps in violation of the NRS. So wherever the future takes us, we want to make sure we're compliant not only with applicable portions of the NRS, which I think one of the capable and assigned lawyers could examine, as well as the rules that are set out for the future of the NRS.
I would
And
guess
I also
that
support
Rich would
the
be there
appointment
from
of
their
lawyers
side,
generally.
and that
What's that?
I guess that Rich would be there from our side for these deliberations,
Yeah,
and Scott would be there from,
You may want to make that legal,
I don't think they'd be members of the committee, but I think they'd be sitting, on the sides just like they are now to keep us from getting too
Thank
far
you.
astray. Thank you.
If I may be allowed to make a public comment. I generally keep my private business private. I almost never try to give a professional or personal recommendation on any fact. Because you mentioned water board and a letter of support, I need to make this disclosure to this group. After I retired as district attorney, I had sued Southern Nevada Water Authority privately over water rights that they were seeking and over water rights that I was seeking. I attained a settlement with Southern Nevada Water Authority, and I dismissed my protests against them, and they dismissed their protests against me. As part of that agreement, it was alleged on Channel 8 News that they bought my silence, okay? They did not buy my silence, but what they did buy was an assertion and a promise by me that I would not assist or counsel anyone to sue Southern Nevada Water Authority in the way that I had done it, okay? So that if any letters are drafted from the city to Southern Nevada Water Authority with respect to suing them or steps that need to be taken, I can't assist in that. Frankly, I always considered that a compliment, and that they didn't want me suing them ever again. And I promised to do that. Okay? And so I can't participate in the drafting of any letters like that because it could be construed that I was suing them again or participating in a suit. Just so everybody knows that I've got that conflict and I'm bound by my promise. I'm sorry it's bothered me with that, but I felt like it was necessary.
Well, I apologize for putting you in a position where you
No,
have
that's
to
okay.
discuss your private business. It's my second mea culpa.
No, it's not your fault. Nobody knows. You didn't know.
Okay, any other public comments? Other than the fact it's cold in here. Going once? Going twice? Do we have a move to, thank you.
Hold on,
Sorry.
I was waiting for the new computer. Thank you. Going forward, Mr. Chairman, I would hope that information that I've asked of the City Council, both oral as well as written, I'll start to receive now hopefully with the new administration. The other concern I have is, it was brought out tonight that the majority of the monies that are going toward the railroad are either state or federal. With federal or state monies, you better have a good accounting. That's what it's all about. Not in splitting hairs, not in shutting down the railroad. We all want it to go forward. But you must have financial, you have a fiduciary responsibility, and we need to focus on that. None of this other fluff. That's all I have for now.
Thank you, George. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. End of public comment. Do we want to entertain a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
We have one from their side as well. Yes.
Should we go first? I'll make a motion to adjourn. Have a second? Second. All in favor?
Do we have a motion to adjourn from our side? Second. Comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for being here.
I don't have time. They said I was open like that after night. Have they confirmed?
Oh, I'm waiting for someone, sorry.
He was what? Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Because I don't know if we get because we never that's where we are at. Because insurance
I'm just glad you don't have any chance of being this. Yes. Because I know you put me back in jail. Oh, I well, you never know. If I have a sandwich. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I clear on that water?
You don't have to do it.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I see the crap out of it. And what? I didn't know he wanted water.
Oh, that's why. I just forgot today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, so you need it tonight.
I'm going straight from here, you're right.
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chachis reporting. The preceding program was sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Ely TV, Channel 3-2 in Ely, Nevada. Local news telecasts can be seen Monday through Friday at 12:30 and 6:30 p.m. on this station.